Hi, welcome to Fat Camp. Big Back Academy. Are you here to pick up a loved one? You're a new recruit. Yeah, you're here to check in. Okay. First time. Yeah, I can tell. And so are you here voluntarily? Parents forced you. Was that them dropping you off up there? Yeah. I heard the dump truck like beep, beep, beep sounds, and I figured they were dropping you off. Yeah. Okay. So, basically, I'm going to be asking you a series of questions, okay? That way you have crumbs on your face. Okay. So basically, I'm going to be asking you a few questions, okay? To determine what category you're in. Yeah, we have different cabins. So we have the chubby chipmunks, okay? That's just for people that come in that have a little bit of extra fluff that they just want to just get rid of, nothing major. And then we have the blubbering beluga big bags. Yeah, those ones are for the ones on the more obese side. Yeah, they have a hard time breathing. They start to foam at the mouth if you show them a molten lava cake from Chili's. When a commercial comes up, they start acting a fool. That's the blubbering beluga big bags cabin. Okay. And then we have the third category, and the third cabin is for the colossal titans. Those ones are very, very, very hungry individuals. Yesterday, for example, in the colossal titans cabin, there was a kid who gut punched another kid right in the tummy repeatedly until that kid started vomiting up the granola bar he just ate. And then the first kid who was punching him in the gut ate the granola bar out of his mouth while he was projectile vomiting it. Yep, not lying. So we're gonna ask you a couple of questions, okay? See which of the cabins and categories you fall into. We're gonna be also doing I guess you'll see. The whole point of this camp here is to give you a sort of mind reformation. Yeah, so by the time you leave here, you're no longer a fatty fat flarp, okay? And by the time you leave here, your mind has been rewired and your body is tea. Okay, let's get started. Yeah, are you comfortable? Good. Enjoy these last few minutes of comfortability. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Full and first together. Full name and date of birth. Date of birth, you said it was, okay. Interesting. And can I get your weight? Okay. Are you sure about that? A lot of fatties come in here lying about their weight. Are you sure you're not lying? It's your actual weight. Okay. Okay, you're sure it's not 320? It's just... Okay. Okay. Put that in. Alright. And, how long have you been that weight for? Since you were... Okay. And when was the last time that you saw your toes? For example, yeah, when was the last time? You can't recall. That's okay, that's typical for a lot of the baddies that come in here, you know. It's normal for you and your kind. Okay. When was the last time that you did like cardio? Yeah, like any form of cardio. No, walking to the fridge does not count as cardio, so I'm not gonna pick that up. So yeah. Shit, I can't recall. I can't recall the last time they did cardio. Okay. And do you have any bags or like contraband? Yeah, how many bags did you bring? Your parents just like threw those ones out the window when they dropped you off. Okay. So like 2 bags. And did you pack those bags yourself or? Okay, so you know what's in them. Perfect. Okay. And again, any contraband. Yeah, like any, I don't know, food that you decided to sneak in here. Anything like that. Chocolates, chips, gummies, anything like that. That does count, unfortunately. Yeah, that counts. Yeah. And you said what? You have what else? Half a tub of buffalo chicken tap. Yeah, that counts. Okay? Yeah, it'll all be confiscated. Trust me, you want it to be confiscated. Okay, what else? Ice cream. And it's not like melted already. Okay. It's fine. And then have a blueberry pie. Twice baked potatoes. Okay, twice baked potatoes. And beat up chicken wings. Sonic chili cheese fries. Oh, I'm sorry. What was that? Sonic chili cheese tater tots. Okay. At least you have a good taste as a fatty. Yeah. Okay. And is that everything? If it's everything, then you're good. But if there's anything else at all, it's better for you to tell me now. Trust me, believe me. Yeah, no. If you start to snuggle. If you decide to smuggle anything in here, you'll be sent to the dungeon. Okay? The Reaper doesn't play. He doesn't like sneaky sneaks, especially when they're fat. Can't stand that. Would you swear an oath, a blood oath upon like your word and everything? Okay, perfect. Oh no, the dungeon is somewhere where dreams go to die. We've had a couple fatalities, so where clients sometimes go to die. if they're not strong enough. And you look strong, so I think you're fine. You've got to be strong in order to carry all that weight. There's no way you can be strong carrying that all day, You're fine. Yeah, so no smuggling any food, any of that. All of that is all you have, yeah. Even a stick of gum can send you to the dungeon. It can. That is almost exactly what our current repeat offender, our problem child, Wabecca, that's her name. Again, she's a repeat offender. She smuggled in a jawbreaker so that I could last her, yeah. Yeah, and she started a coup, and all the fatties started to try and rebel. They all sat on one of her camp counselors while the others tried to waddle out the front door. Yeah, it ultimately failed because there were too many fatties trying to get to the door at the same time, so they all just kind of toppled over on top of each other. It was really funny to watch. But she is a menace. Don't make friends with her. Okay? Yeah, she's currently in the dungeon. Well, I can't tell you all of what goes down in there, but it does involve handcuffs. They handcuff you to a treadmill. Yeah. And while you're handcuffed to this treadmill, you're forced to walk/jog for at least 3 days straight without food or water, just your fat as food storage, the reserves are on your body, so you're fine. They give you a diaper, and they also have a screen on the treadmill playing endless mukbangs. Of course, you know what those are. Yeah, so they play that over and over again for 3 days straight, and that's a part of the dungeon. Yeah, that's where Wabecca currently is. Yeah. Okay, so now that we have that out of the way, no contraband, no things brought inside. Do you have any allergies? No, salad doesn't count as an allergy, no. No, it doesn't. And what's the longest amount of time that you've gone without food? Yes, mayonnaise counts as for food. Okay. So, not 5 hours, 5 minutes, okay. Oh, you really like mayonnaise. Great. Okay. And do children cry when they see you? You can be honest. We're just trying to help you here. They tear up a little bit. Any trembling at all? Okay. Do they run at all when they see you coming? Like fee-fi-fo-fumming over, or? Okay. Yeah, I figured. Yeah. Okay, Winston. Can you tell me about your childhood? Can you tell me a little bit about your childhood? What was it like? What were your eating habits? You said you grew up where? Interesting, I would have never guessed that. I thought you were I don't know, from Idaho or something. Okay. And you said how many siblings, or? Okay. How many siblings? Just good. That's typically what happens. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's common for a lot of the fatties here at Big Bag Academy. A lot of them have a very similar background. Interesting. Okay, and was that, would you say, like an ingredients household? Yeah. And what were some of these struggle foods that you grew up with? I grew up with a few too. Yeah. Okay. Beanie weenie. Hot dogs and baked beans. Okay. Ramen noodle packets. Now adding egg does not really make it healthy. You added 2 boiling eggs into the ramen. Now that doesn't count as healthy, but I'm glad you were trying. Okay. And you said, what did you usually have for dessert? Okay, so that's like a piece of bread with butter and then sugar. Okay. And then cinnamon on top. And then you did what again? You baked in the oven. Okay, you baked that in the oven. Okay. Yeah, that one actually sounds pretty good. Okay. Would you say that you're a binge eater or like a food sneaker? Okay. And when you sit down, how many rolls typically form on your gut? Is that one big roll or like multiple rolls? Okay. And hobbies. Any hobbies? Okay. Interesting. How do you spell that? G-O-N-I-G. Okay. I think it is. What was the second one? I'm not pitting that. No. Scrolling on Uber Eats doesn't really count as a hobby. Okay. No. Uber Eats, you can keep it on your phone, but the Reaper will break your phone if he sees that with a hammer. Then he'll make you eat the glass. I've seen it many a time. So if I was you personally, I would delete it so he doesn't see. It's a very scary man. Very scary. Yeah, I mean, you could try to escape. There are plenty of restaurants within range for Uber Eats, but we're not really worried about any of our clients escaping, mostly because they're fat and wouldn't be able to get past like the front yard of the facility, to be quite honest. Oh yeah, there have been times. There was once a kid who made it halfway across the front yard, all the way to the fountain. He stopped for some water. Yeah, but then when he realized that it wasn't flavored water, he just lost all hope and started like vomiting and crying on the floor. So it's really easy for our crew to I guess harvest him after that. I wouldn't say bring him back, they had to roll him. You seen Willy Wonka before? The one with Johnny Depp. Yeah, I remember when she turned into like a blueberry, they had to roll her. Violet. Yeah, it was like that. It was really funny. But yeah, he didn't make it. And to prevent that from happening over again, they started to put obstacle courses in front of the yard. So basically, like, they put like benches and rose bushes down. That way they would have to walk in zigzags around the yard and just wear themselves out. So again, 2 miles that away is the big city, you know. So, and we're not worried about anyone escaping. Okay. Alright. I think that's most of my questions. I do have one more question. Smell this. My wrist here. Let's take a deep whiff for me. Yeah, how does that make you feel? Is that slobber? It is vanilla cupcake. Yeah. Excellent sniffer. You have the reaction of, I'm thinking more so of a blubbering beluga big bag. Yay! So that is what I have come to the conclusion of, that you are a blubbering beluga big bag. So we're gonna go ahead and put you in that cabin with the rest of them. Yeah, Wabecca's in that cabin. Oh yeah, you're gonna fit right in. You guys are so similar. And you're gonna make so many friends here. By the time you leave, you are gonna be so beautiful. You know, here we don't believe that everyone comes here beautiful. We think that's something ugly people tell themselves. Okay? We think that you come here gross, hideous, however you come, you know. We're just real like that. And then you leave a glorious embodiment of beauty and discipline. Everyone this summer and this fall will envy you. They'll think that you took Ozempic. They'll think that you took crap. They'll think you did any and everything except for what you're doing. And it'll be the biggest flex of the century. Imagine all the cute fall fits you're gonna have. You're gonna be so good looking. You already have a great base. You're still ugly, but you have a great base. I can see how cute you are under all that blubber. You're gonna have so much fun. Yeah. Okay. So, I'm gonna go ahead and have you sign this death waiver right here. Go ahead, sign here, and here, and here, and here. Then flip it over really quick. Just flip it over. Yeah, and then you're gonna sign there and there. Okay, and do you have a will at all? Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and have you fill that out right there, and then just put it in that box when you're done. Okay? It's just a little death waiver. Just a little death waiver. Go ahead and wait over there. Waddle your little tush over to the waiting room. And the Reaper will come in shortly to rape you. Yeah. Go ahead and grab one of those shirts right there. It's a blue shirt. You're gonna be a part of, again, the blubbering beluga big bags cabin. So exciting for you. Yeah. So pick up a blue shirt, sign that, and go ahead and fill out this form here. And that form is going to ask you a couple of questions. Set everything down in that box there within the next few minutes. And again, the Reaper will be here shortly to rape you. Yeah. Okay. Have a great time, and we'll see you in the cafeteria. Okay. Bye.